These are very clean oyster shells, and I'm going to be decoupaging the inside of the shells. The first thing I'm going to do is add a couple of coats of white chalk paint. Now, as you can see, I'm using a sponge pouncer. Now, I like to use a sponge pouncer because it gives really good coverage. These shells have a lot of dark markings on the inside, as you can see. So that's why they're also going to need 2 coats. And then I do want to let these dry, so I'm just going to hit them with my heat gun. I'm only going to be using 1 square of the napkin, and I'm going to separate it from those back plies because I only want the top printed ply. Now, this is my water brush. It dispenses water, so I'm going to go all the way around the snowman. That's the only part I want. And the water makes it easy for me to go all the way around and do a nice soft tear, leaving a beautiful deckled edge that's going to blend in with the paint. To adhere the napkin, I'm going to be using Mod Podge Multi-Surface in Matte. I'm applying a nice even coat, not too thick of a coat of Mod Podge. Then I'm going to take the little piece of napkin with the snowman. I'm going to line it up there just right, tap it with my fingers a little bit. Now I'm going to go in with my brush, okay? I'm going to add Mod Podge on the brush again, all right? So I'm doing 2 things. I'm smoothing the napkin into the shell, and I'm putting some Mod Podge on top, which has some sealant properties, so now it's already protected. On that same napkin, I found this really cute little birdhouse with a cardinal and an oyster shell that fits it perfectly, or actually it fits perfect on that shell. I'm going to add some decoupage glue. I'm using the same one, the multi-surface. I'm going to put my little piece of napkin, tap it down a little bit, and again, I'm going over with my brush. Brush has Mod Podge on it, so I'm sealing it. Look how cute that is, and it fits perfect on that little shell. Okay, so my first 2 shells are done. I'm on to the 3rd shell, and look how lucky I got again. It's the perfect size for this little scrap of napkin, which is too dear in this winter forest. Now, this is really important because shells, especially because they're not flat, can be a little bit difficult. So I'm using my brush to push it into the shell. And as I go all the way around, see, I'm even tucking it into that little part on top. And remember, my brush has Mod Podge on it, so it's getting some sealant at the same time. For my next oyster shell, I found this really pretty Christmas tree. So I'm putting my Mod Podge onto the shell first. Then I'm going to take the Christmas tree, and I'm going to be really careful. I want to make sure I have it in a good spot, and I'm going to go over it with my brush. Now, what I really want you to take notice of now is how that deckled edge blends right in with the white paint. Now, this is what I love about decoupage because it looks hand-painted. Now I'm going to use my heat gun and make sure that the shells are all dry before I move on to the next step, and that is to remove that extra napkin. Now the edges of the shells are rough, so I'm just pulling the napkin down, and all that extra napkin is coming right off. And now I'm on to sealant. Now you can use Dura Clear Glossy, that works very good. And I also love this triple thick glaze from Rust-Oleum, but I decided to give this UV 1-part resin a try, okay? The instructions are on the box, and there's lots of videos that show you how to use it, and that's how I learned. Now the UV resin is very glossy, but there's definitely a learning curve. Now on to embellishments. Sorry, this is upside down, but that's a silver metallic marker. It's a paint marker. And I'm going to go all the way around the edge of the snowman. I think the silver is perfect. Now for the tree, and again, sorry, it's upside down, I'm using gold. Now on this beautiful crisp white with that Christmas tree, I thought the gold would be perfect, and I really do love it. So I'm going to go all the way around the shell. I'm going to hold it up so that you can see. Now, this gold really gives it a nice finishing touch. It's really pretty. It works perfect. Now, for that cute little birdhouse with the little cardinal on top, I did go ahead and put gold to finish that shell off as well, and it's really adorable. And my decoupaged oyster shells are complete, and I love how they came out. Would make perfect coastal decor, but of course they don't have to be coastal decor. They would make really pretty ornaments. You could put them on a little easel if you want, and on the small ones you could add a magnet that can be put onto the refrigerator. Add ribbon, add gems. glitter, this would make an absolutely perfect gift. And if you're having Christmas dinner, why not put one little shell on each place setting, and they have a beautiful gift that they can bring home with them to remember the lovely Christmas dinner they had at your house. My beautiful napkins, they come from Vippies Designs, www.vippies.com, and you can follow them on Facebook to see more of my DIYs. Follow me on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Decoupage DIY with Joan-Marie Domino.